Greetings ladies and gents, my name is Sergio Jordann and today I'm coming to you with predictions NXT TakeOver Phoenix that will take place this Saturday. And the last takeover that we saw, it was the NXT TakeOver War Games, and I thought that was one of the best takeovers that we have seen. You know, from the matches and the lineup, everything was really well. And this time when I look at the lineup, you know, we had the surprise of Matt Riddle defeating Cassius Ohno in seconds. And the Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane match was amazing. Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano, it was one of the matches that I thought it will be match of the year. And Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream, great storytelling. And the War Games match. So this time we're gonna have 5 official matches. There's only one match that I think it may suck because it will be the first time for Bianca Belair to be on the big stage and have a match on the takeover. So this will be a real test for her. And Shayna Baszler, she used to rely on Kairi Sane on doing all those crazy moves and she being a heel to tell a good story. So this time, I don't know how it will work, but we will talk about that. First, I think the show will start with Matt Riddle going against Cassius Ohno, and this time it won't be for 6 seconds. I think they will have a longer match. They will go back and forth. They need to tell a story here, and Matt Riddle, I mean, he will be selling for a while. This reminds me, they had an awesome match on the Indies before, you know, both of them joining NXT, and they may do something similar to that. It won't be like a half an hour match, but it will be about, you know, 10 to 15 minutes, not 15, I think 10 or 8 minutes where Matt Riddle will win. And there was one thing that happened on NXT that I didn't like. I mean, Keith Lee, he's losing his matches. He lost to Lars Sullivan. And then on NXT, he lost to Cassius Ohno, even though he was low blowed and the referee didn't see it. But he's losing matches. And I think maybe after this show, when Matt Riddle wins, it will be Keith Lee versus Matt Riddle and the next takeover, and that will be at the WrestleMania weekend, which can be cool. If there is one guy that should turn heel, it should be Keith Lee, as Matt Riddle is a pure babyface, bro. Second match, it should be Shayna Baszler versus Bianca Belair. Bianca, she is in a real test here, and her going against Shayna Baszler will show if she can be that next level player. Shayna Baszler is awesome as a champion, so how can they have the dynamic with each other? How can they have an awesome wrestling match? I don't know. I think Bianca is very talented, but it's too soon for her. I never thought she'll be in this position this close in time, but she is, and Triple H sees a lot in her, and hopefully she delivers. I don't think Bianca's winning here. It will be Shayna Baszler retaining the NXT Women's title. The tag team title match between the Undisputed Era going against the War Raiders. I've been watching all these guys before while they were in Ring of Honor, and even I saw them on New Japan. They always had chemistry with each other, and they had awesome matches, especially Red Dragon. You know, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, they were awesome. But over here we have Roderick Strong with Kyle O'Reilly, so it seems like they will be the tag teams going forward, you know, defending the titles. So the War Raiders, Hanson and Rowe, they are very talented and they are in this position, you know, for the first time. They're going to be competing for the titles for the first time here. You know, looking back in history, while they were having matches with each other, they always delivered before. Now they are on a bigger stage like a takeover. I think they will do all they can, and it can steal the show. It can be a really good match, and if I had to predict who will win in this match, it will be the War Raiders. I think we will see a title change here, as the War Raiders will win the NXT Tag Team titles. Ricochet versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT North American title. I've been a fan of Ricochet for a long time, and I always thought the guy is very talented. He's one of the best high flyers in the world. I just watched Fantastica Mania. There were a couple of matches that was awesome on that tour. CMLL guys going to Japan and performing there. But Ricochet, he's awesome. And Johnny Gargano, I think he's one of the best guys in NXT. He's a great wrestler with great psychology. He knows how to react to the crowd. He knows how to act in the ring. His match with Aleister Black was awesome in the last takeover. So now Ricochet going against him, I think they will have a really good match. This match can easily be the best match on the show. The one problem here is that the build up to this match wasn't that much. I mean, he super kicked Ricochet, and they just announced the match is going on. So that's one thing that I didn't like about this. But when it comes to the match itself, I think it will be a great match, but Ricochet is retaining the NXT North American title. Most probably Johnny Gargano after this match, I think we will going to see him in the Royal Rumble match. He will be a surprise entrant, and he's coming up to the main roster very soon. I wanted to see a reunion between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano being hashtag DIY again. They can do it some other time on the main roster or something. But yeah, I think Johnny Gargano and Ciampa should be on the main roster right away. And there are reports of them going to 205 Live. I think that will suck. Please don't do that. We don't need to see those guys on 205 Live. Like, you have a guy like Humberto Carrillo who's just awesome, and he goes to 205 Live and he has great matches. I mean, he had a match with Buddy Murphy and Grand Metalik, and the crowd wasn't into it. Because for some reason, Vince McMahon thinks the show should be after SmackDown, because they want live content. The problem here is that when the show was before SmackDown and it was taped, the crowd was really invested into it, they reacted much more, and it was a better show. So what about this? What about you make it before SmackDown and make it live? At least the crowd will react with everything that's going on in the ring. Sometimes it boggles my mind on how WWE thinks about the stuff that they do, really. So now the main event is Tommaso Ciampa versus Aleister Black for the NXT title. Fun fact, if you guys didn't know this, Aleister Black went against Tommaso Ciampa just once before, one-on-one, and it was on NXT TV, and in that match, Aleister Black lost the NXT title, in which Johnny Gargano interfered in the match, and he cost Aleister Black by mistake the NXT title, and they started a feud with these guys. So now it's coming to first circle as Aleister Black is going for the title again. After Johnny Gargano losing the NXT North American title match, I think we will see him trying to interfere here. I mean, they don't need to do that to have a great match because Ciampa is an awesome wrestler. It's the main event, so they're going to give them time and they're going to deliver. But at the end, Tommaso Ciampa will retain the NXT Championship, and Aleister Black will be coming to the main roster too. So these two guys should come to the main roster, Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano. And Bianca Belair, I mean, they can do the same thing that they did with Lacey Evans. And Lacey in promos, she's doing great. I thought her promo in the Moment of Bliss was actually really good. So they can do the same thing with Bianca Belair. That's one thing, you know, they have the women's tag team titles coming soon at the Elimination Chamber. And one team that's awesome, of course, is Kairi Sane with Io Shirai, but I don't think they're coming up to the main roster anytime soon. So, yeah. The obvious one will be Sasha Banks and Bayley winning the women's tag team titles. But you don't know, maybe it will be Lacey Evans and Mickie James. Mention in the comments below your predictions about NXT TakeOver Phoenix. Thank you very much for watching. Press a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel, it will help us a lot. Take care, guys.